If you're a fan of Formula 1, you'd understand that the most anticipated car reveal of the season would be Mercedes W14. 2022 can be regarded as the worst year for Silver Arrow since Michael Schumacher's last season on the team. The team struggled with many problems throughout the 2022 season, and they were working to make significant improvements for 2023. But what are those changes? Has the car still maintained its silver colour, or has changed to black? Watch the video till the end to get the answers to your questions. Now, let's get started. Fans are eagerly waiting for the revelation of the car that would give Lewis Hamilton the machinery to win his record-breaking 8th world title, allowing him to retire in peace. Now we have a release date for W14. It's going to be launched on Wednesday, the 15th of February, during a live digital event broadcast across all of the team's social media channels. Rumours were already prevailing in 2022 for the need to change Mercedes and upgrade it to the next level. Toto Wolff declared that the W14 will retain much of the DNA from the previous car. The main changes would be under the bodywork, in terms of packaging and under the floor, which will be redesigned in many areas, particularly in the sections of the Venturi channels and diffuser throat. Given these premises, the side pod could maintain a similar configuration to the W13, with vertical inlets at the front. The team brought the W14 to the virtual test track as early as possible into the winter break to be able to see how well the changes work. It is evident that the rear may be less tapered for two reasons. Firstly, an aerodynamic nature, with a flat section at the level of the rear suspension that forms a T-shape at the rear will increase the efficiency of the diffuser by exploiting the beam wing. Yep, that's right, increasing efficiency can greatly benefit W14 for the upcoming season. The second reason is structural integrity. In fact, the main issue for W13 was the large open floor space at the bottom of the car that had flexibility at its ends, which created variations in airflow under the car. This was a contributing factor to the car's aggressive porpoising. To counteract the phenomenon, its thickness has been increased at the project level, increasing the weight. But this year, the minimum weight has been reduced to 796 kilograms, giving Mercedes a bigger task on their hand to shed the extra weight its floor has gained. The gearbox will be a profound evolution of the previous one, with a different arrangement of the critical components of the rear suspension. A Formula 1 car's gearbox is built around the rear suspension, so any changes to the gearbox requires changes to the rear suspension as well. The W14 is said to have a power unit that is in line with the performance of Honda and Ferrari. Thanks to a new formulation of the fuel, a massive effort has been made to optimise combustion in collaboration with Petronas, also improving consumption efficiency. Toto Wolff said that narrow car may return in 2023 and that a change in DNA doesn't mean that the bodywork is going to look completely different. There had been plenty of opinions shared online regarding W13 and what made it struggle so much. The interesting thing is about the graphic they have shared. There's no silver on here apart from the logo itself. It's pretty much black in the Petronas blue. Now, is the car going to be silver or is it going to be black? Well, in 2020, they introduced the black livery, and few videos were floating around where Hamilton drives out in Austria to test the car in new black livery W11. It looked pretty ominous, and the car was one of the best Formula 1 cars ever in terms of pure performance. They kept the black livery design in 2021 as well, while changing it to the silver arrows in 2022. Some people do want the black livery to return because it's a sign of the Mercedes dominance. So tell us in the comments below whether we would like to see it go back to the black livery or retain the silvery appearance. My theory is they will keep the silver livery, but who knows. The graphic also says going all in. Now, we don't exactly know what they're referring to, but in terms of poker, it means to risk everything for maximum reward. Maybe the W14 design is a bit of a risky design. Again, they are doubling down on the no side pod concept presumably. It's going to be a mega achievement if it works out, but if it doesn't, another tough season for Mercedes. They're going with their own philosophy and making the best car in the world, but it has its own downsides and risks. In a recent interview, Toto Wolff said that despite the resemblance with its predecessor, the W14 will be full of surprises. The last time I saw it, I thought, oh, this looks the same as the W13. But here's hoping it's not the same. I'm pretty much like you. I go into the wind tunnel and it looks like this year's car, i.e. small side pods, coin zero pods. But they say to me, it's a very different underneath. It's about the airflow, it's about the weight distribution, it's about the aero map. Our car fundamentally changed mid-year. We changed the concept, but you couldn't see anything on the bodywork. Remember what I said about the change in suspension? Well, this is another hint of that. Beyond the car's aesthetics, Wolff says the focus of Mercedes is developing a more comfortable and competitive machine for its drivers, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. He also described about their understanding of the problems they faced in the previous season and why their car was not performing well. So working on the car's aerodynamics, making the ride more fun and providing a stable platform to the drivers would enable Mercedes to perform well. This is a lot of information that Mercedes has revealed about the W14, but they aren't done there. We know that the rear suspension, gearbox and the floor are going to be changing, but they also said that improvements are going to be made to the engine. It was a pretty accepted opinion that the Mercedes' latest engine was underperforming compared to Honda and Ferrari. The Renault engine is used by Alpine, so it's a little harder to judge. When the factory staff disappeared for the Christmas break, Mercedes hit its targets of getting the W14 fired up at Brackley before the holidays. Yes, Mercedes even published a short video in which the team teased the firing up of the car, but made sure to reveal no clues about the potential changes in its design. They are convinced that their performance will be in line with Honda and Ferrari this year. A massive effort has been made to optimise the combustion in collaboration with Petronas, also improving consumption efficiency, thanks to a new formulation of the fuel. The designs of the engine can no longer be changes except for the purpose of reliability. This does not mean that the programming which controls how they run can't be fiddled with. If Mercedes had managed to gain even the slightest percentage of performance for a new season, then expect Aston Martin and Williams to make moves up the grid as well. Will any of this work though? Mercedes have been able to develop Ferrari and Red Bull over the winter break and return to competitive form. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And if you want to check out interesting content about Formula 1, then click the video on your screen now. Stay tuned for further updates.